Well, I have to use my spectacles. Bryce, I'm envious that you claim to be one of the oldest up here, but you were spared that. Well, the last time I was up here, I was terrified, not that I'm not right now either, but I was honored to speak at the Arkansas Governor's School, and this room was filled with 500 high school seniors, and there's no more brutal audience than 500. And I don't know that any of you have to have 500 at one time in your classroom, but it's scary. I'm really, really grateful to be here today, and so honored and thankful to the Board of Trustees and President Cloyd and the faculty for creating and being so creative in this Odyssey program, and the fact that you want to recognize alumni as well in our journeys. But I was especially excited to strongly encourage my children to come today, because I'm sharing the stage with such phenomenal people. They get very weary of my passion, and so I wanted them to have an opportunity to hear about other people that have taken incredible journeys and done amazing things in their lives. So I've really enjoyed listening and understanding all of the commitments that are represented up here today. There are several people in the audience to thank today. I'm not going to do it individually, but I have, some could have said that I majored in social aspects of Hendrix when I was here, and so I have a number of friends here that are embodying that testimony, and a wonderful family here too. So I typically don't use notes, because I'm usually talking about things that I am very passionate about. It's harder to talk about yourself and your own journey. So I have made some notes, and if you'll bear with me, I'm just going to take you through my journey a bit. The funny thing is, I can honestly say that I feel like I've had my own Odyssey experience, coming much later in life than in an academic college days. In fact, when I found out that I was being given this honor, I remarked to the Hendrix girls that I'm going to be spending a weekend with, that if we were back in 1977, I would bet that I would have been voted the least likely to have been recognized in such a way. I mean, my parents, I think, were concerned that I was going to major in cheerleading, and I was an art major, and in the midst of roommates that were going to med school and law school, so I had a lot to live up to. And I can vividly remember the summer after graduation and a great trip to Europe that my parents provided for me, and sitting in the Boston Brownstone with Amanda Nixon. I don't know if Amanda's made it here today, but she's one of my great Hendrix friends. And we were fretting over our futures and what our fates were going to be right after graduation. Both of us really wanted to make a difference in the world, and somehow I knew that my artistic ability was not going to answer that need. I didn't know it was going to take 20 years to find it, but I'm grateful that I did find a passion that was worth fighting for. Within a few years after graduation, I found my way to architecture school and directed my skills with composition, color, and form to a profession with more constraints and discipline. This was a wonderful period of my life, as I had the opportunity to design buildings and homes in one of the great American cities. Again, a New Orleans connection. And most importantly, I had the opportunity to teach design at the School of Architecture at Tulane and be enriched and energized by students' work. It was in the 1980s and in the midst of the oil crisis and economic downturn, leaving many people and families in particular homeless for the first time in New Orleans. I began to engage in the social issues surrounding housing for the homeless, combining my desire to express social justice in the built environment. I also met architect and MacArthur Genius Award winner Sambo Mockbee. He was the founder of the Rural Studio in Hale County, Alabama, one of the poorest places in the United States. His deep humanity overcame his own ambition to focus on his talent. It was a great inspiration to me to emulate that path, and I hope to do that someday. He focused on his connection with other people and their needs. A brief period after that, after I met my life's love, my husband, who brought me back to Arkansas, in addition to some of the things that President Cloyd's mentioned, I had the opportunity in 1995 to be part of bringing the design team here to design the campus master plan. So all the buildings that you've seen as you walk across campus, I was part of that little seed, and I'm very, very proud of that moment. Then I'm going to have to fast forward here to about 10 years ago when I had my epiphany about the global issues in the environment, that every living system was in decline, and these were being caused by the unintended consequences of human behavior, and particularly the results of out-of-control building development that I was contributing to as an architect.